Hi there, welcome to Intangify, a podcast where we talk about the intangible aspects of business. I'm your host, Matthew Asbell. I'm an intellectual property attorney by day, but I am the host of this podcast because I'm looking really to understand things well beyond intellectual property, which is one form of intangible, and really thinking about businesses and what things they do and need in order to survive and thrive in today's world. My guest today is Joe Mindak. And Joe runs an organization called The Connective. Joe, welcome. Hope you're muted. You got to unmute yourself. Rookie 2020 mistake.
Rookie 2020. Yeah, sorry about that. Starting off great, right? Already on mute. Thanks for having me, Matt. I appreciate you taking the time and let me talk about what we're doing, and look forward to our chat.
Yeah, glad to have you here. So Joe and I, we met maybe 5-6 months ago, I guess at this point. Joe, I know you run this organization called The Connective, and from my perspective, it's kind of a very different form of business networking than I've encountered in other spheres. Maybe you could tell us what is The Connective?
Yeah, so basically, I was always in networking groups, always loved networking. It's always how I got business, but a lot of us are always like, there's things we could do better. So what I really wanted when I started this was something that was really B2B focused, right? Really vetted out, right? A lot of groups I was in just kind of let anybody in. They're a membership model where, as long as someone wants to pay to be part of the group, they could be part of the group. I didn't want that. I really wanted to be strict on who we brought in. And then we want to share in the commissions. Right. So like myself and a lot of people that are members of the group, a lot of us have given referrals over the years, millions of dollars in referrals and not gotten a bottle of wine for the effort. Right. We're saying, listen, I'll continue to give you referrals. I want to get paid a little something, and let's all share that commission and incentivize each other to open doors. Right. So instead of saying, hey, Matt, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, which is kind of the old school networking. If I give you a referral, you give me one. It's like, no, I'm going to give you a referral and I'm going to get paid on that referral. So I'll open my network to you and I'm going to get paid on that. And so everybody in our group is incentivized. Now I really want to open a door for you, and I really want that door to be closed and that deal to be closed because I'm going to make a little cut of it. And everybody loves doing it. Most companies are like, I'll pay you. You're going to introduce me to a client that's going to be a great fit for us. Happy to pay a referral fee. So we're taking all that and putting it all together, and we built a platform to track it all and do everything there. So it's been great.
So how big is this network?
It started with 20 people, and I took out to dinner saying, hey, why don't we all help each other get business? And now we're at 310 as of this morning, businesses all across the country. We have 4 or 5 companies in the UK, a couple in Canada, one in, I believe, either Portugal or Brazil. I forget which country. So we're expanding, but yeah, well over 300 businesses. And by the end of the year, we'll be closer to probably 700 the way we're growing. And we want to grow, but we want to grow the right way. We're not just letting anybody join our group. It's very exclusive. You have to be invited to the group. Yeah, you're vetted to come into the group. So we're growing, but we don't want to grow too quickly.
So what is the experience like for a member? I mean, I know to some degree, but share with our audience. What is the experience like as a member? What do you do?
So again, what we're here to do is open doors for each other, right? We say we open doors you don't have the keys to, right? We're going to get you into places you never would have gotten into, right? Instead of, doing some lead gen, reaching out on LinkedIn, whatever, it's hard to get that meeting with that client you're looking for. We have all the members of the group that are again, incentivized to open their network to the person you might not otherwise be able to get a meeting with. So we vet the people out, then we train them on how to really open those doors. How do we use LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn, you could find a person you want to talk to. The problem is when I reach out to you on LinkedIn, can you connect me? There's, out of 5,000 people, a lot of us have, we don't know those 5,000 people. So it's hard to say, yeah, I'll open a door for you to a client. Um, that I don't know you, I'm not going to open a door. So we really show people, hey, there's 300 people in this group. How do you get to know each other? And what makes a really good referral? How do you open those doors? How do you get to them? So we really want our people to open doors that someone that they know well, right? Do you know that person well, Matt? Do you know? Yes, I went to college with that person. I worked with that person for 10 years. I grew up with that person. Do you know them well? Step one. And B, are they interested in what the other person has to sell to them, right? So if I ask you, hey, Matt, listen, I want to introduce you to Mark Pistachio, digital marketing, do you guys need a new website and some help with marketing? You're like, yeah, Joe, actually, you know what? It's great timing. We're looking for somebody on that right now. Perfect. Let me introduce you to Mark, right? So I'm introducing Mark to you, Matt, who I know well, and you're looking for his services right now. Think about the close ratio on that. I'm referring you to someone I know well and someone who wants what you're selling right now, instead of just blindly like getting leads into that. Listen, and traditional marketing always works, right? But this is a lot more intentional introductions, right? That close a lot more business. So we really bring people in and really try and make sure they know how to utilize the group well. Where other marketing groups I was in, I'd sign up and be like, all right, good luck. Hope you do well. No, you're gonna be trained on tools and tips. And there's a lot of things that we do beyond that members only get to know on how we make those introductions to get things going.
So what's the experience like? How do I mean, I get vetted and I join. What do I do?
So you become a member. We have chapters, right? We have 10 chapters across the country right now. We're in San Francisco, Nashville, Chicago, all over. So you become a member of a chapter, and that chapter has meetings every other week, right? Not every week. We don't want to go, and they're all virtual. Part of my problem was I joined a chapter in New York City. It takes me an hour and a half to get there, for an hour or so meeting, and then an hour and a half to get home. Most of my day is traveling. So we're all virtual. So you sign up, you have a meeting every other week for 1 hour, and we're all business. Like we get on, we crack some jokes and make fun of each other for a couple of minutes, and then it's all right. Let's get down to business. So we have a breakout room right at the beginning. We introduce any guests that are on, let them introduce themselves. We give any shout outs, any deals closed. Usually there's a couple deals closing every week in the different chapters. And then we do a breakout room, right? We want you to be introduced to somebody so they know what you do and what they do. So you'll go in a room for about 10, 12 minutes or so. Just take a few minutes each to say, I'm Matt, I do IP. This is the things I focus on. Great, good. All right, I know what you do. All right, I'm Joe. This is what I do. Hey, maybe we should talk more. I might have a client for you that I might introduce you to. Let's set up a call after this, right? So it's kind of just an intro every meeting to meet two other people, actually. So we'll have one breakout at the beginning and one at the end. And in between, we always have a presentation by one of our members. So one of the members will present their company for about 15 minutes and have some Q&A. So it's really, again, really pushing people to get to know each other, so that every meeting you go to, you're going to meet two new people. And you're a member of one chapter, but you could go to any meeting you want, right? We want to limit people, be like, no, you can only go meet with these 40 people that are in your chapter. Why would you limit people to that, right? After 6 months, everybody in your chapter, you already met them. Like, and maybe new people come in here and there, but no, there's 300 something people to meet. So go to San Francisco's meeting, go to Stanford's meeting, go to Charleston meeting, go to any meeting that you want to go to and meet people as much as your time allows, right?
And those city meetings, right? That's not really any sign of where the members are from, right?
No, this is a naming thing, and me being a marketing guy should have a better way of coming up with a name. But for now, it's just wherever the person that runs our chapter lives. Andy lives in Chicago. He's the Chicago chapter. We've come up with a million different names to try, but colors, numbers. You know what? We're just sticking with the cities now. So, but members from all over, right? Now, Chicago chapter will have more people in that Chicago area, but there's people from North Carolina and Kentucky, wherever. We have members in, I think, over 30 states now, from all over. So, and it's all virtual. So, it's just, if you're in LA, you probably don't want to be in the New York chapter because it's an 8 a.m. meeting. You don't want to get up at 5 a.m. So
Right.
we'll have a meeting at noon. So other than that, no, the location doesn't matter.
I wonder how that impacts people whose businesses are more localized, in terms of
Well,
who they serve.
Yeah, listen, it's not for everybody sometimes, right? And I'll be the first to say, like, maybe our group's not a good fit for you, right? I had a meeting with a banker in Atlanta that I was introduced to by somebody in the group, and he could only do business in Georgia. And I basically said, look, I'd love you to, I don't, do we want to turn down members? No. But the big thing with us is we're not just going to take people because they're going to pay us $100 a month, right? We charge a membership fee, but we're not looking for $100 a month. That's not where we're doing well. We're doing well with people that we can actually refer business to. So, if it's that specific where only businesses in Georgia, like, we're not going to be able to refer too much business to him, and he's not going to get much business. So I gave him a couple other places I knew in the Atlanta area that would be good fits for what he does, right? So so that's the only time it'll really apply. If you're only in that one area, it might, I had a guy in Texas. He's like, I really do stuff in tech. I'm like, well, that's very specific. So it's going to be harder for us to do. I would probably go more local with something that'll be more beneficial for you. We're not going to sell somebody on joining our group just to get their money. Right? That's not what we're here for.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you and I've had conversations about this offline. In regulated industries, right? There are sort of artificially enforced kind of rules. So for me as an intellectual property lawyer, right, I'm admitted to practice in certain states, but the area of law I practice is national or even international in scope. So I don't need my clients to be in New York, as an example. But a
Right.
lot of my colleagues, those the ones who are doing real estate law or or family law or whatever else they're doing, they have state specific rules. Their clients have to be based in those locations. So I wonder, like like in terms of getting access to people. I mean, there's an advantage. There's an advantage if there is a lawyer who's at a firm like me, right? So if someone comes to me and they needed a real estate lawyer in New York, I could give them somebody. I don't do that, right? But but in terms of getting members who are in industries that are regulated that have locales, like the banker can only serve people in Georgia, you just kind of accept that and say you should find a more localized organization. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we really want to be honest, and I don't want to take somebody that may or may not be. But listen, there's 300 people that have connections all over the place. So I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, look, my partner's in Atlanta, so he has a lot of people in it. So I'm happy to take you on board. And Mike, who I was talking to, was like, no, I appreciate the honesty. I said, I don't know, maybe try it for 3 months and see. But listen, yes, people in the group will have businesses, I'm sure, that do business in Atlanta that they can refer you to. It's just
Yeah.
not as easy to refer you as if you could do
Right.
stuff all over the place, right? That's a lot easier. I'm sure in a year you're going to get a gig or two from us. I mean, it's almost impossible with 300 something people not to be able to have somebody connect you with somebody in that area. It's just not as easy because so this guy I met last week, Mike, really nice guy. I have a perfect lead for him this week for a banker, but
Yeah.
he's in Georgia, and this company's in New Jersey. They're $25 million. They're looking to move to another bank. He's not in the area, so
Right. Right. Got it.
yeah, so I can't refer him. So
Well, I had the good fortune of having somebody from the Connective already refer me to a potential client. So I've had that discussion. Somebody in Florida. So I'm waiting to see how that works out. So so for me that it works fine as someone whose practice is more national or international. The other thing that you and I talked about offline, though, and I wonder if maybe listeners might be concerned, is regulated industries that don't allow for referral fees
sure.
and things of that nature. Since you have that built into your system, do you want to address that?
Yeah, and we're a networking group at heart, right? We're still, yes, our people that join, we want people that are givers, that are making introductions, connecting. So, look, a lawyer can't pay commissions, right? But lawyers have access to tons of business owners and people that are starting up or like you getting IP because they're just launching a new brand or whatever it is. So they're great networkers, right? So they can't pay commissions, and that's okay. One of the things we do is say, listen, if you can't pay commission, if you want, you can make a donation to a charity, right? So, hey, you're not allowed to pay commission. You're going to pay $1,000. Why don't you donate it to the charity that person introduced you to? Or listen, you want to send them a gift card or something like that, if there's something you can do to thank them for that business. But again, we're all here to network and help each other. The added benefit for us is that, yes, 95% of the time you're going to make a commission on that deal, and that's a nice incentive. But again, for me, I want to introduce you to somebody because I'm hoping, like, I give you a couple clients, you're going to give me a couple back. That still works, right? It's still part of the whole networking idea. And a lot of us want to network and love making connections. I love making a great introduction and it happening. And then, oh, by the way, I made $500, $1,000 off of that. That's a nice extra bonus and it's a nice added incentive.
I hear you. I hear you. It's about the principle and sort of it's nice to have a benefit. We got to go to
Right.
break. So you've been listening to Intangify, and we'll be right back.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Brancu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Welcome back to Intangify. I'm your host, Matthew Asbell. My guest is Joe Mindak, and he is the founder and proprietor of The Connective, a specialized business-to-business networking group. So, Joe, thanks for being here again. And we saw you had to move, so glad you're in a better location. Hopefully, you won't have to get moved from there.
No, I'm good for now. I didn't think anyone's coming in there.
Cool. Well, so I know there are other aspects about your group that really differentiate it from other networking groups. I mean, you mentioned this referral fee aspect, or the opportunities for incentives for people who refer, and you certainly mentioned the B2B focus of it. But I guess it might be helpful for listeners to understand how it works differently. And I know that you're launching some new software, and maybe you can tell us a little bit how that software ties into what the networking group does.
Right. Yeah. So we are mainly B2B focused, right? We don't have B2C play here, which makes a big difference to a lot of the people. And the incentive to make money is really what drives a lot of people to us, because it's people that are really great networkers, right? And we're really focused on bringing those great networkers to the group, right? So we want people coming in saying, wait, you're saying I can make money off of the business I refer? Like I said before, I've been referring business for years and I've left all this money on the table. Now is an opportunity for you to make that money. So so we built out a whole system, a whole software called Noladex that tracks all this deals, right? With 300 people doing deals all across the table, how do you track all that money? So basically what happens is when I refer you a piece of business, you pay a commission on a piece of business, and then that commission is split with the member, whoever brought the business in. So if a deal comes in and somebody pays a $5,000 commission, you, Matt, have made $2,500 off of that, right? So it changes the whole mindset of giving referrals, because it's like, oh, I'm now incentivized to give referrals. And that makes everybody excited to come in and have 300 plus people that you could refer business to all day long and make money off of doing that. And then the system tracks everything. So everything's put onto Noladex, where you put the referral in, you get the referral in, you could it's like a CRM system, right? You could put notes and tasks and things to follow up and make sure, and everyone wants to follow up with each other, because it's not like other groups where you just give a referral, like, hopefully you get that business. No, I want you to get that business. I'm going to follow up the person I gave you, and I'm going to put it in the system just like a Salesforce would. Hey, Joe, follow up with Matt Asbell next Tuesday and see what I'm going to follow up and say, hey, Matt, I made an introduction to somebody. I want to make sure that deal closes, because again, I'm incentivized for that deal to close. Where other times you just put it on there because you want to send a referral to someone and somebody sends you back. No, I'm incentivized to make that deal close. So that changes the whole dynamic of the thinking and why you want to make introductions to people, right? You want to make them because you want to give your client a great resource and stuff like that. But listen, getting $2,500 in your pocket for doing that is a nice little added bonus to do that. So yeah, so it really changes the mindset of the type of people that want to come in. They get more excited about the opportunity to make money off of referring business than almost getting business for themselves. That's part of it, right? But really that opportunity, and that's what's exciting about it, right?
So you mentioned that impacts really the type of people that want to be in the network and sort of the way they act and their actions essentially. But you've also mentioned that you're vetting people, and so maybe it'd be helpful for people to know what kind of people you're looking for.
Right. So yeah, so you have to be invited to the group, right? So that's part one. So when you become a member, you say, all right, Matt, you're a member. Who else? You know what type of people are looking for in this group. Who else do you know, right? So obviously we want somebody you've worked with in the past, right? We don't want just, I know a person, I know this person, or I met them on LinkedIn yesterday. No, Matt, who have you worked with in the past? Oh, I have a great web company I work with. I have a great IT company. They've done wonders for our law firm. I really know them. I really trust them. I really like them. They're good people, right? So the people inviting the other people, we're telling members, who else do you know that would be a good, trustworthy member of this group that's really great at what they do, right? We want people to be the masters of what they do. When I refer you to somebody that needs IP, they want to know they're in good hands, right? So we really want to be strict about who that person comes in. We don't just want 10 IP lawyers in here just to get again, we're not looking for that $100 a month. We're not a membership model. That's not our revenue model. Our revenue model is to bring in deals that close. And that's going to happen when you have really good people that do a really good job. Because like me, I've referred one of my clients to one of the members, Biogenomics. They did such a good job. I just had drinks with David a couple weeks ago. He goes, Joe, thank you so much. You don't know how much has changed the way we do our business and the way we market it because of what Biogenomics did for that. Now he calls me for everything. When he needs something else, he comes to me for. So I think David's called me for 6, 7 different things now that he needs. Oh, I need a head of sales. I need this and that. So bringing really good people into the group and making sure we vet them out is really critical to what we do. And we have the members do that, right? So the member invites somebody, they come to a meeting, we tell them all about it. Then we actually invite them to a chapter meeting. They're going to sit in those rooms, like I was talking about the breakout rooms before. They're going to sit in a room with the member at the beginning of the meeting and a member at the end of the meeting, and they're getting vetted out again. Like they're depending on how they act in there. I mean, 9 out of 10 times, they're great because they were already referred by somebody, right? And the members know if you're going to refer somebody group, you better be bringing somebody good. It's your name on the line, vouching for that person. But, we've had times where somebody comes into a room and last year, 2 of my members called after a meeting and said, you know what, I dealt with that guy in the past and I don't think he should be a member of the group. Two people called on one. And I had to call the guy up and say, listen, I don't know. I didn't ask any questions, but two members called me and said, something happened. I don't know what it was, but you're not going to be a member of our group. We don't want you. And we even asked somebody to leave, right? somebody was a member, they were doing about $150,000 in business, but they weren't that person that's giving as well, right? It's just, you're not coming in a group and sitting back and taking business. So this person got a bunch of business, but didn't come to a meeting for 6 months, didn't show up anywhere. You don't see, we set up one-on-one calls with people, not responding to that. Like, you're not just here to get business for yourself. Even though we make money off of that, that's not the spirit of the group. We want people that generally want to give each other and open doors for each other and help each other. Again, the bonuses, the commissions and stuff, but generally you're just not here to just sit back and get business for yourself. There's other people that are looking for business from you too.
That sounds fair. I guess, where was I going to go with this? So you mentioned that, you'd want, if someone was going to be invited in, a member would invite them, and that's sort of the first part of the vetting, and that's sort of almost like an endorsement, really, in terms of getting that person into the group. And you don't want just anybody. At the same time, I think that if we're out and about networking, and many of us belong to other networking groups and participate in other platforms where we meet people all the time, when we meet somebody new and they sound like somebody who might be appropriate for the group, but we don't know them, do we like, what I do is I just say, hey, you should talk to my friend Joe. Because I'm like, I don't feel equipped to endorse anybody I don't know that well, but I feel like they would benefit from the group, and maybe the group would benefit from them. How do we do that if we're a member?
Yeah. And look, it's a gut check on that, right? There's a bunch of people that I know in a group that are good, especially the people that run our chapters, that can have a conversation with someone and be like, okay, I that person could be good. I like the person, like they're talking about. There's people that come in and right away are just talking about themselves and how great they are and how they're the best, this and that, and they don't need networking to do that. I'm good at, like, you just get a feel for something like that. So look, there's plenty of people that, yes, will come in, but I if somebody invites somebody and I say, that person, I don't think they're going to be a good fit, I'll have to call the member up and be like, hey, this guy, Matt, something about him. I was in a breakout room with him. Do you know him well? Well, no, I met him at this event and he seemed good. Like, well, there's something off there, and we're good enough usually that we can tell that, right? So yes, once in a while, like I was on Lunch Club, which is a nice platform. I can meet people on there. I got a bunch of people from Lunch Club, but I'm pretty good at reading people, right? And a lot of our other people are good at people. So yeah, once in a while, it's like somebody's going to invite someone to be like, I think they'd be a great fit. But I trust that those people know, they're vetting them out, knowing that, hey, I'm a pretty good judge of character. But that's why we put people in those breakout rooms as well, as another, layer, right? So if somebody invites somebody, they come to a first meeting, they can breakout room with 2 people. If ever nobody says anything like, I don't know about this person. And once in a while, I'll say, hey, I don't know about this person. Have them talk to Joe, or have them talk to Adrian, or have them talk to somebody else. And then they also talk to the chapter head one more time. So we have one more layer before they become a member. They talk to the chapter head and just vet everything out. There's a guy last week that was introduced to me. I wasn't completely sold on him. I liked him, but he kind of did a couple different things. He didn't really seem focused on what industry he was in. It was like, and I reached out to the member. Do you know this person well? Yeah, I know him well. He does a couple things, but he's a really good guy, and I know him well. Okay, good. I just wanted to double check, right? So we always want to, just have some checks and balances in there.
Does a member get penalized if they refer too many, floppy guests?
Yeah, I mean, not penalized, but if they continue to just bring in, guests that are not, we'll tell them, like, you're fine, you're a good member, but stop bringing guests in. Or we actually had a member come in recently that dropped like 70 referrals in like a day, and we're like, they can't be all good referrals. And we kind of found out it's just more like going on LinkedIn and sending out, oh, you want CMOs? Here's CMOs, but you don't know those people, so it's not a good referral. So we kind of parted ways nicely and said, this isn't the way we do things, and that's okay. If that's the way you do things, that's spray and pray. It's okay for other groups, not part of our group, right? We want people well that are looking for your service, not just anyone that you could find on LinkedIn. So
makes sense. All right, we got to go to break. So you've been listening to Intangify on talkradio.nyc, and we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
What really drives success in business? Introducing Intangify, the show that explores the intangible assets that create value and growth. I'm Matthew Asbell, your host and an attorney focused on innovation. Join me Fridays at noon Eastern to discover how innovation, culture, and other intangibles shape thriving companies from startups to established businesses. We'll share strategies to unleash your business's true potential. Tune in live on talkradio.nyc Fridays at noon Eastern and Intangify your business today.
In a post-COVID world, you may have many unanswered questions regarding your health. Are you looking to live a healthier lifestyle? Do you have a desire to learn more about mental health and enhance your quality of life? Or do you just want to participate in self-understanding and awareness? I'm Frank R. Harrison, host of Frank About Health, and each Thursday, I will tackle these questions and work to enlighten you. Tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m. on talkradio.nyc, and I will be frank about health to advocate for all of us.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Intangify. I'm your host, Matthew Asbell. My guest is Joe Mindak. He is the founder of The Connective. And The Connective is a large networking group, but not growing too quickly, sort of careful about who the players are. It's a B2B group. And one of the things, Joe, we were talking about before the break is the underlying platform you have behind the group. I know that you have an existing software that you've used at least over the previous years, that since you've launched, and that you're updating it to what's the one that's going to be called Nolodex. Can you tell us a little bit more about Nolodex and maybe how members use it?
Yeah, so we're really excited about Nolodex. So yeah, we had our MVP, which we've used for the last 2 years, and we just literally 2-3 weeks ago started moving everyone over to Nolodex. So Nolodex is your networking Rolodex, right? So we built out a custom-built platform. We're building it for the last year and a half or so, to really track all those deals. So what the platform is one community management tool, right? So members of any community can go on, connect to other members, send referrals, close deals, and get paid on the platform. So all the payments now go right through the platform. So if a deal for $5,000 goes in the system, the platform takes it, Stripe pays out whoever is part of that deal, automatically goes right to their bank account. So everyone gets paid and does it. So what Nolodex is doing is giving communities that are already existing, right? So say your chambers of commerce, your network, people that have other networking groups that are already existing, a way to monetize those groups. Right now, they're leaving money on the table. Right? These groups are all giving business to each other, referring business and closing deals, but nobody's paying commissions on them. So this could take those communities and give them a revenue stream, right? Not only the community gets a revenue stream by having part of the deal come to them, but the members that are paying to be part of these communities can also make commissions on those deals now. So it's great for communities that want a better management tool that's very cheap, right? $129 a month, basically $1,500 a year for this management tool to track everything. The other thing is that members that are already part of communities want to start their own networking group, right? I always wanted to start my own networking group, but how do you do that, right? How do you track all the deals? How do you make payments? How do you collect money and blah, blah, blah? This does it all for you. So if you want to start your own networking group and you're like, and I don't want to put a bunch of money up or have to build a platform, for $129 a month, you could start a group on your own. It collects the membership fees for you. It takes care of all the payments, contracts. Everything is done on the system for you. All you have to do is recruit members and run that group however you want to run that group. We have the software to be able to do it.
So, Joe, this platform sounds really sophisticated. Can the members actually utilize the platform to find the people in the network that they would like to meet?
Yeah, the new platform, the MVP was great, but the new platform, Rolodex, has a much more robust search engine, right? So you could search by, location, you could search by industry, you could search by accreditations. If you're looking for, an accountant that has a certain accreditation, you could search by minority owned, veteran owned, LGBTQ owned. Like there's all sorts of parameters that you could search for what you're looking for. So we really want to, if you have a client looking for a certain company, we want to really narrow it down and make that search done well. So members all, right now on our connective membership, all 310 members are all on there. They all have keywords set up of what they're looking for, who their ideal client is. So whenever you search, it's got that great functionality to find exactly what you're looking for. And then right on the platform, you schedule a meeting, right? Everyone's Calendly link is right there. So it'd be like, oh, that person sounds like a good option for my client. Schedule a meeting, you can talk to them, learn more about it, make sure they're a good fit, and then pass it along. But everything is done right on the platform. So it gets you, LinkedIn profiles there, any other Twitter accounts, anything else they want to find there. Everything about that person's right on the platform, so they can really make sure it's a good fit for who they're looking for.
So being a member in the Connective, you have these meetings every other week, but you have this software platform which is DIY 24/7 if you want to go get information or find other people. And then I understand also that the members are also making individual one-on-one types of meetings, right, to explore opportunities more deeply, since what you can accomplish in a breakout room is fairly limited.
Right. The meetings are great, right? And that's a good way to kind of just on the surface touch base with somebody, see what they do and learn a little bit about them. And then it's like, okay, like I said before, oh, Matt, you know what? I have a new client that's, looking to get some IP done. I think we should have a further conversation. But we really encourage people to go to the site, set up those one-on-one meetings, find people that are in their similar industries, focus on that. Again, you could search by anything. You want to talk to marketing folks, you want to talk to finance folks. So it's all on there. We really encourage a one-on-one outside the meeting to be done, because having a hour conversation with somebody, meeting them for a cup of coffee or whatever, is really the way that you're really going to get to know someone and who they're looking to meet, who you're looking to meet. So we really encourage them to do that, through the site.
So how
And with
can
Nolex, one more thing with Nolex, it's right now it's one platform. When we open it up in a couple of months, we're ready to open up to other communities, right? So you could be part of the Connective. You could also be part of Notre Dame Alumni Association. You could also be part of a local charity board that you're on, that you're all connecting to each other, right? So it's not just one community you could be a part of. You could be part of multiple communities on the platform. So if you want to click on Notre Dame alumni and see alumni from Notre Dame that are doing what you're looking for, and part of that commission and that comes in can be donated to the Alumni Association. Part of your commission, if you want to use it as a charity, everyone on the board, I'm on the board of Children's Specialized Hospital, everyone on the board can connect each other to deals, either from their clients or the hospital, or whatever. And the money that comes in, those commissions, don't go to the members on the board, it goes right to the hospital, right? So you could use this for charities as a fundraising tool, right? Because you have 30, 40 people sometimes on a board, all trying to look to raise money. Well, when your company needs something, go to the Nolex website, find a resource for it, and the commission comes in, it goes right to your charity. So it can be used. And if you start your own group, right, Matt's group, right, and I have Joe's group here, you could opt to connect to each other, right? So you could opt to say, yeah, I want to open up my platform so Matt's people could connect to my people as well. So it just opens up exponentially opens up a larger network than you have. So instead of just 40 people in your group, you could have 3,000 people in your group, right, and connecting to each other. So it's really a really intuitive platform and really there to make introductions and make some money for all different organizations.
So this is really eye-opening for me, because like up until now, my perception was Nolodex was really just the machine behind the Connective. I'm hearing from you, if I'm hearing correctly, that Nolodex is envisioned to be something much, much larger, that you intend to utilize it with other types of groups, whether they're companies, nonprofits, bar associations,
Yeah.
anything.
Well, like most companies, they seek to find a software solution for what they need, and we couldn't find it. We couldn't find something that did everything I wanted to, as far as tracking referrals, paying everything out, everything that a system could do So we could just do what we do and run and bring great people in and make connections and let the system do everything else. We built it. And we said, well, if we build it, guess what? There's a ton of other organizations out there that are running communities that are like, I wish I had some sort of software to track all this stuff. And wow, and now I have a software to pay. So I talked to the Chamber of Commerce, right, in my town, Gene, and I said, Gene, you're paying $4,000 plus a year for this software. That's an okay piece of software, right? It has a directory. It does a couple things. It's kind of hokey. Our software is $1,500 a year. So you're going to save $2,500 using our better software. And get this, you could also, now anyone in the chamber that refers business to each other, those people make a cut and the chamber gets a cut. So now you're saving $2,500 a year, but you're also turning your chamber into a revenue stream, right? Because again, when a deal goes through, the member gets half the deal, you get half the deal. Or you could set it up 80-20, the communities decide how they want to split it up. Or the chamber could take all the money if they want. But now you're turning that into a revenue stream. And now the members at the end of the year who are paying $600 to be a member, at the end of the year, hey, Matt, you want to renew your membership? Yeah, you know what? I made $1,000 this year off of that referral I made. Now I'm basically here for free, right? So it gets that stickiness of people. Why would they leave? They're basically a member for free at this point. So there's so many different ways to do this. And like I said before, people who always wanted to start their own networking group, right? I want to start my own group. You know, I'm in this group. I could run this better. I could do it. Great. But how do you do that? Now you have a platform, takes care of all the business side of everything, contracts, payments, everything's done on here for you, scheduling calls, meetings, you know, all that's on there. And for $129 a month, if you bring in two members at $100 a month is what we charge. After the first month, you're already making money off of your thing. So two members gives you $200 a month. You're covered for your cost of the software. Now, if you bring in 30 members at $100 a month, now you're making $3,000 a month minus the fee. We take 10%. You're making $2,700 a month to run this platform. It's only costing you $130 a month. You're making money by running your own networking group. You're taking the money instead of giving the money to whoever the parent company that runs this networking organization is. No, you, Matt, are now taking the money, right? And then you get a cut of all the commissions that come in, right? So, you know, you can make $40,000, $50,000, $70,000 running your own networking group. And the system is there to run it for you. The back end is all taken care of for you. You just have to go out and recruit people and make sure they're connecting to each other, making deals happen. It's a nice little passive income stream you could build for yourself. And you're also the one running the network. So you're front and center promoting your own business as well. So you're getting business through a networking group you would otherwise. So it works well for everybody. Everybody kind of wins. And we're only taking little cuts of everything, right?
So you've got me thinking, right? So I've got, like I have a networking group I run. It's an international networking group for people who do what I do, right? So, I've got one person from each country represented in this group so that we have, each other to refer work. But we do it for free. We don't have a platform we use. We do it on Zoom calls, and we have quarterly meetings, and it's all done manually. Is there an advantage? Given the regulatory issues for attorneys, right? So the referral fee piece is sort of out the window to some degree, but is there an advantage to moving to a paid platform and to this paid platform over DIY running a network?
Well, listen, it's $1,500 for the year. So if you have 15 lawyers in your group, guys, for $100 a month, we have a platform that could run our community a lot more easily and send referrals to each other. And if you can't pay, you just put zero for the referral fee. Right? Mm-hmm. You can't pay a referral, you put zero. Your referral fee is zero. So yeah, just to pay a small fee to have a platform and have a software to track everything, right? Because you're sending deals to all these different people all over the world. How do you track that just for your own edification? And I sent this guy 3 last year. I sent him 1. Like, it just tracks it for you. It makes it easier for you guys to communicate, to find a person, right? Oh, I need an IP lawyer in Nigeria. Like, let me go on and use the keywords to find the right person that could help my client in that country to do what I'm looking to do, right? So it, for the small cost to run the platform, yeah, it's well worth it just to use it as a community management platform.
Yeah, one of the big challenges that we faced running that group. I mean, I run that group, but one of the real big challenges we faced is knowing when people were going to each other with opportunities and when those opportunities actually happened, so that we could actually evaluate the benefit of the group. We wanted to know how many opportunities arose as a result of this group.
Right. And this tracks it all,
Yeah, because we have to rely on people to tell it to us. So like, okay, if you tell me that, I know that there is this opportunity that happened, but
yeah, this will tell you
how many
referrals somebody gave, how many sort of referrals somebody received, how many total referrals were given out between the whole group, right? We have 1,400 referrals given out in our group. And it also tells you how many I gave directly to you, Matt, and how many you gave directly to me. So it tracks our interactions as well. So it knows that, oh, me and Matt seem to really be able to refer each other business well. We should do more of that.
Wow.
So yeah, it basically tracks everything you need to know. The data it gathers is fantastic, right? So
are you demoing this for other organizations already?
yeah, we have about almost 40 organizations already signed up for the beta. They're like, as soon as you launch, we want on. So we're signing people up for the beta. You get 25% off the first year if you want to be part of the beta group. So yeah, we're demoing it right now. People are signing up. We just signed up 2 more yesterday. Like, people are like, like you said, I have a group. I could use this software either to help manage, my community, or wait, all our members can now make money off of the referral, or I could have my charity. Like, I live in Westfield, New Jersey. It's a pretty well-off town. Like, the soccer, parents can all connect to each other, and money can be donated to the soccer team in town. Like, there's all sorts of ways to utilize the platform, right? And these are people that are in different industries, in pretty, high decision-making roles, that could be like, oh, you know what? My company needs a new website. They go hire a company for $100,000. That company donates 10%, 10 grand. Now, guess what? The soccer team just got $10,000 because, Matt's, law firm needed a new website, and they hired somebody in this group, this Westfield soccer group, right? There's so many ways to utilize the platform for all sorts of things. Amazon Smiles just canceled Amazon Smiles. All those charities lost all that money coming in from Amazon Smiles. They could sign up and put all their friends and stuff onto a platform, and hey, let's connect with each other and make some money for the money we lost because we're not getting the Amazon dollars anymore. There's tons of different ways to utilize the platform.
There's no other model though, but beside the sort of either monthly fee or annual fee for these organizations, right? That you aren't offering another way for like a nonprofit or something to utilize Noladex without those fees, right?
Yeah, well, you don't have to charge membership. So, right, like, if you're a charity, you're not going to charge people to be a member of the thing. So you have to pay the licensing fee, and we'll have a discounted rate for charities, obviously. But the goal for them is to raise money. So yeah, the commissions will be on there because you want the board to go onto the system to refer business, so that those commissions go to the charity. Right. So there's a processing fee like anything, right? We can't avoid Stripe's fees and the credit card fees and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, charities don't have to charge their members, right? And other people don't have to charge members. If you want to, put your group on there, you don't have to charge membership if you don't want to. That's up to you, so we don't force people to do that. But the commissions are in there. That's where the platform will make money, as a percentage on the commissions and stuff. But people can opt to not do the membership fees, especially the charities.
How do you get a demo of this?
You could just reach out to me, either via LinkedIn or Joe at theconnective.me. You can go on onto the website noladex.com and check it out. There's a video there to explain it. Really explains a little bit, and you could sign up to get a demo and things. But yeah, anyone who wants a demo, just feel free to contact me directly. And I'll be happy to take you through the demo. Thanks
so much. We got to go to break. You've been listening to Intangify. Don't know what you're listening to. You're listening to Intangify on talkradio.nyc, and we'll be right back.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Broncu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to The Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Intangify. I'm your host, Matthew Asbell. My guest is Joe Mindak, the founder of The Connective and Noladex, a software platform for networking and charity and other types of organizations to track relationships and giving and raising money and referral fees. So Joe, you mentioned earlier in the program that, you go out on other networking platforms. You mentioned Lunch Club as an example. I think you and I met on Lunch Club. It seems like ages ago. But that you have these other platforms out there. And, and you also mentioned about the importance in networking of kind of connecting with people and actually, more authentically knowing people, knowing them beyond what they're selling. So with that in mind, I thought maybe I would ask a little bit about Joe, because I know you have a couple other lives. So, so tell us about your other lives.
Oh God, where do I start? My wife would be like, all right, now he's going to talk. So, so listen, I enjoy doing a lot of other things. I mean, I like to write music. I just started doing it as a hobby. So I wrote an album a couple years ago. I don't sing or play songs. I use Fiverr.com mainly to find people to take my lyrics and put them into music, which has been a lot of fun. I teach at Stevens University. I teach a class on entrepreneurship. I was an education major, so every Friday I'm here today at Stevens teaching, which has been a lot of fun. I teach on something I know about entrepreneurship, which is great. But the main other thing I'm doing right now, which is really my passion, is I started a charity called the Foundation for Sustainable Veteran Housing, right? So it's fsvh.org. What we do is we find American Legion halls that are kind of a little run down, maybe a little dilapidated, and we tear them down and build up brand new American Legion halls, American Legion, VFW, or any veteran hall, and we build a brand new hall and we put up housing for homeless veterans. So in Hoboken, we built the first of its kind a couple of years ago, where we have 6 units of housing for homeless veterans on top of the brand new hall that the veterans were able to build. And now we're building 18 more units on the site right next to it. We had that in phase 2 with the banquet hall. In Westfield, we're building a brand new hall with 22 units of housing for homeless veterans. And then we have Montclair, South Amboy, all in the works. So we're building close to 100 units of housing for homeless veterans in New Jersey. And our goal is to build, there's 573 homeless and at-risk veterans identified in New Jersey right now. We're looking over the next 5-10 years to build homes for all of them. So that's really one of my main main things I'm doing outside of this. But the other stuff is just for fun and hobbies and stuff. But this is something we really put a dent in, right? There's six veterans that have been living in Hoboken for the last 3 years, had a new home, and they're thriving and doing well and working, and they have a roof over their head now. So it's been great.
I didn't know that about you. And it sounds like it's a real passion project. One thing I wasn't sure about as you were explaining it is when you say you're building these houses, are you collecting money and then hiring contractors, or are you physically going and building houses?
No, I'm not physically. No, I'm not building. I could do some work. My wife's like, I don't know, those floors don't look too good to put in. But no, we raise the money, right? The foundation goes in, and we raise the money through individual giving. We get a lot of government grants, and then corporations, right? So we're now looking for any in-kind donations, right? There's my buddy works at a company that does, toilets and sinks, which sounds crazy, but when you have 22 units plus the other, common bathrooms and things, we have a banquet hall with probably, that stuff adds up. It could be $100,000 worth of equipment, right? So we're looking for in-kind donations, any of that. And then, yes, we hire the contractor to go out. We'll go out to bid and we'll have a contract. I mean, this is an $8 million project, right? This is a big building. But we do, the contractor will build it, but any in-kind donations we get are great too. So, that offsets some of the costs as well. So yeah, we'll have to go out and raise about $2 million out of the 8 million, right? So.
And where does your passion for this come from? Are you a veteran, or is there something particular?
No, you know what? I didn't get to serve, that's a whole nother story. I wanted to, but this is my way of serving those who served us, right? So the vets served our country, for us and me and you, whoever, and now this is my way to serve. I could serve those who served us. So it's good to be able to give back to those guys and thank them for what they did, right? So they did the hard work. This is easy stuff, so.
That's terrific. Well, I really appreciate your being here, Joe. So thank you. I'll just close out and say, my guest has been Joe Mindak from The Connective, from Nolodex. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the long name of the charity, but maybe you could repeat it for me so we can hear it.
Yeah, Foundation for Sustainable Veteran Housing. So Frank, Sally, Victor, Henry.org. It's a long one. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on today. This was great. I love chatting with you, and glad we met a couple months ago. It's been great.
Yeah, same here. Thanks so much. Take care.
All right.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift,